Welcome to Easy Elimu Learning Simplified. My name is Eric. I'll be taking you through this topic, fractions, and for this lesson, we'll be looking at multiplications of fractions. So we will start by looking at multiplications of proper fractions. Then we'll look at multiplications of fractions and whole numbers. Then we look at multiplication of mixed numbers, and then at the end of the session, we'll be able to give you some assignment to help you practice and also to help you check your understanding of the concepts as discussed through this session. So we have our first example here, which is on multiplications of fractions, and we're supposed to evaluate the fraction 1/2 multiplied by 2/3, or 1/2 multiplied by 2/3. So I'll give you two approaches. So the first approach is where you multiply the numerator here, 1 and 2, and you also multiply the denominators here, directly like that. So that is going to be 1 times 2, and then you multiply 2 by 3. So if you do that, we have 2 over 6. So this one here is not acceptable as the final answer in mathematics because it's not the simplest form of this fraction. How do you know whether the fraction that you have is in its simplest form? So the fraction like this one will be considered to be in its simplest form if the numerator and the denominator are co-prime, to mean that you cannot find a common factor other than 1 between them. Like in this case, you see 2 here is a factor of 2, and there is also the same 2 can be a factor of 6. So it means they are both numerator and denominator are divisible by 2. So in that case, the fraction is not in its simplest form. So you need to divide it further. So you divide the fraction by a common factor. For example, here 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So this fraction is equivalent to this, it simplifies to this. Now, case 2, or the alternative approach, is where now when we have 1/2 multiplied by 2/3, then what you do is you simplify this diagonal first. Before you multiply the numerators, you see this diagonal here, they have a common factor, which is 2. So 2 divides 2 once, and 2 divides 2 once. So what you do now is to multiply the remaining numbers. So we have 1 and 1. So 1 multiplied by 1, and then 1 by 3. So 1 multiplied by 3. And that is giving us again 1/3. So either of the two approaches can work for this problem. We have the second example here. Again, you can just multiply the numerators and the denominators. That is case 1. So 3 by 1. And then we have 4 by 3 here. So 3 by 1 is 3, and 4 by 3 is 12. Again, this cannot be accepted as the correct final answer for this in math. So you have to simplify. The only reason why this is not acceptable is because it is not the simplest form of this fraction. Always remember to simplify the fraction to its simplest form possible. That is if it is the final answer, like at the final answer stage. So what you do, you look for a number that can divide, both of them. You call it common factor. So common factor here is 3. So 3, after getting the common factor, you remember to divide both of them by the common factor. So we'll divide this by 3, and we'll also divide this by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 4 divided by 3 is 4. So 3/12 simplifies to 1/4. Now case 2 is where you simplify first before you multiply. So we have 3/4 multiplied by 1/3. So if you look at this diagonal here, they have a common factor. So common factor here is 3. So 3 goes here once, 3 goes there once. Then now after that, you can be able to multiply. So we have 1 by 1 and then 4 by 1. You multiply the remaining numbers. Like we have 1 and then we have 4, we have 1 there, and then we have 1. So that is again 1 times 1 is 1 and 4 by 1 is 4. So you simplify first or you multiply first. So those are the two options. You either multiply first, then you simplify, or you simplify first, then you multiply. So again, we have this where now there is a whole number multiplied by a fraction. So this has again multiple approaches, where first approach, just take the whole number part and multiply by the numerator part of the fraction and divide by the denominator. So it's 5 times 1 over 2. So this one multiplies the numerator only, the numerator part, and that is going to be 5 over 2. So 5 over 2 again. So this is 2 plus 2 plus 1. So each of them is divided by 2. So over 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, 2 divided by 2 is 1, and then this is 1 over 2. So 2 plus 2, 1 plus 1 is 2, and then this is 1 over 2. So case 2 is where now you express this whole number part as an improper fraction with a denominator of 1. So case 2 is where now you also have to express the whole number part as an improper fraction with a denominator of 1. So we have 5 multiplied by 1 over 2. So this is going to be 5 over 1. That is 5 expressed as an improper fraction with a denominator of 1. And then you multiply by 1 over 2. So again, you will multiply the numerators, and then you multiply the denominators. So 5 multiplied by 1, and then 1 multiplied by 2. That is again giving us 5 over 2. And that is 2 and 1 over 2, as you have seen in the previous case, how you convert it from improper fraction to a mixed number. So either of the approaches can still give you the same answer as you have seen. So we have example number 4 here. You'll do the same thing. So the number 3 here can also be expressed as an improper fraction with a denominator of 1. So we have 3 over 1, and it's multiplied by 3 over 4. So again, you will multiply the numerators and you multiply the denominators. So 3 by 3, and then 1 by 4. So this is 9 over 4. So expressing this 9, now 9 over 4 here cannot be left in this form because it is in improper fraction form. So that is not acceptable as the final answer. So what do you do? So what you do is to break down this 9 here into components of the denominator, and we are starting with 4. So you continue with that until when you cannot add 4 further. What that means is that further addition of 4 will lead to a number that is more than 9. You stop. You look for a number that you can add to make it 9. So 4, we add 4. So that is 8. If you add another 4, that will be 12 more than 9. So we only add 1. So each of them is divided by 4. So this is 1 plus 1 plus 1 over 4, which is 2 and 1 over 4. So case 2 is where now, so we have case 2 where you multiply the whole number part by the numerator part only. So we have 3 multiplied by 3. So we have 3 multiplied by 3 over 4. So 3 multiplies 3 there. So 3 by 3. over 4, which is 9 over 4, and that is going to be 2 and 1 over 4, as we have seen in the previous case. Now there is this one where we have now mixed numbers multiplied. So what you do is to change the mixed numbers into improper fractions, and then you proceed as you have done before. So again, if you don't know how to change the numbers into improper fractions, you can check our videos on converting numbers from mixed numbers to improper fractions. You'll be able to see how that is done. So basically what you need to do is to multiply the denominator by the whole number part, and then you add the numerator part. So 2 by 7 is 14 plus 1 is 15. So this is 15 over 2. Then we are multiplying by, again, 3 by 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10. So 10 over 3. So again, here you can simplify first or multiply first. So if you're having large numbers like this one here, it's usually advisable that you simplify first before you multiply. So as you simplify, you look for common factors in either of the diagonals. For example, this diagonal here, 3 is a common factor. So 3 divides 3 once, 3 divides 15 5 times. Again, 2 divides here 2 once, and 2 divides 10 5 times. So you see the numbers remaining now are simpler. So you can then go ahead and multiply the numerators and the denominators separately. So we have now 5 remaining, there again 1 and 1. So it's just a matter of multiplying them now. So what we have is 5 by 5 and 1 by 1, and that is going to be 25 over 1, which is equals to 25. So again, you cannot leave your answer in this form. Division by 1, if a number is divided by 1, it's just the same as the number itself. So the last example is number 6. Again, you will have to change them to improper fractions. Like 3 here is 3 over 1 multiplied by this other one is 8 over 3. So again, this you have to simplify first before you multiply. So 3 divides 3 once, 3 divides 3 once. Then you multiply now 1 by 8 and 1 by 1. So this is 8 over 1. So we have 1 by 8, and then 1 by 1. So that is going to be 8 over 1, which is equals to 8. Again, you can't leave your answer in that form. So it has to be, the 1 has to be removed so that it is 8 as the answer. So that is all that you need to do when it comes to multiplication of fractions. So we have a few questions here to help you practice and also to help you gauge on your understanding of the concept as discussed through this session. Otherwise, that marks the end. Goodbye.